But it takes a second because this is all gonna like upload and get itself ready and the whole nine.
Hey everybody, we're getting ready to set up here. We're starting in 2 minutes.
Yours is up.
Oh, mine's up. Well, we're getting ready to start in like 2 minutes. Just a quick reminder, we're talking on the seller side still of the deal, which again does not mean that's all you can ask about, but that's what we're going to be focusing on in our discussion with Lisette and I and Jonathan behind the scenes.
Whoop, whoop.
He's just setting everything up.
God, you got a lot of people to wave to. Say hi to everybody.
What's going on, everybody?
We got Yaneris, Navardo, and another Navardo.
All right. Well, we're going to be starting in about a minute. But again, we're just getting a little set up. Just wanted to remind everybody, share the video. If you share the live feeds, we'll take your name down. We'll put it in the hat. After 5 weeks, everybody's name goes into the hat. Every time that you've shared it, every video that you've shared on the live feeds, that's how many times we'll put your name in the hat, the bowl, the belt, whatever you want to call it. And whoever's name we pick out will win a $20 gift card to the place of your choosing. Also, on the 5th week, once we go over everything that we've gone over the last 4 weeks, we will ask 3 questions, and if you answer, whoever answers the question correctly first during our live video will receive a $5 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, the place of your choosing. Which one do you like better?
It depends.
Depends.
She's a Starbucks type of girl.
Starbucks. See,
Not always.
Starbucks. The only time I went to actually go and buy myself a Starbucks coffee, I had to put the French vanilla or whatever I wanted to put in it myself, and I was like, I'm done.
All right, we got 2 people over here.
Ready to go live now?
Yeah, you guys are good to go.
All right, so hello everyone. Lisette Bolano from Bolano Home. Joining me today, Jonathan Agudelo from Freedom Mortgage, as always. Fabulous. Welcome to our 2nd week of the Let's Talk Sellers series. We appreciate you guys being here. Please share, comment, tag, and you know the rundown. We want to get this information out to as many people as possible. So yeah, let's get started. What are we going to be talking about today? Let's see.
Well, you, my friend, are going to tell us a little something, right?
Yeah, so because we're focusing on the seller's side of the transaction, I'm going to be doing most of the talking with Jonathan chiming in on a lot of the loan things. So first topic is CMAs. Then the next would be after your property is listed, what happens, why being available for showings and open houses is important. It's extremely important to get as many people through the door as possible. And then after you receive an offer, what kinds of offers will you receive and what do they mean? All right, CMAs, what do they mean? What does that mean? It's a comparative market analysis. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that word, as Jonathan over there has spoken on it a few times. And what that does is it gives us an idea on what your home can potentially sell for. So that's probably one of the first things that you're going to come across when you first meet with your agent is have that discussion. What is my house worth? We would love to sell every house for $1 million, but that's not really...
That'd be great.
That would be awesome, right? More money for you, more money for everybody else that goes around. But it's important. We want to know what houses have sold for and houses that are similar to yours as well. We don't want to compare your house that's like a 3-bed, 1-bath house that's 1,300 square feet to a 1-bedroom, 500 square foot studio. It just doesn't match up.
That makes sense, yeah.
So
what kind of things do we use in order to do our CMAs?
Yeah, so there's 4 to 5 different criteria. So we look at the square footage, we look at the land that it's on, how big that land is, overall condition, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and am I missing anything? I think that's it, right?
Condition, beds, baths, lot size,
square footage,
square
and
footage.
Condition. Yep. So
Yep.
those are the main things. So it's also important to let your agent know of recent updates that you've made as well, especially ones that you cannot see. And that will also play a big role in the appraisal later on down the road. So that's kind of stuff can add value to your house, like the plumbing and electrical. Those are big things. And if someone doesn't have to worry about that, you can add some money on for the price.
And just to throw a little bit in there, what I've noticed as well is on multi-units, also what fair rental, what kind of value you get for your rent, and the whole nine is also included in part of that stuff, correct?
Your rental,
Yeah.
like your rental income, you mean?
Yeah. What rents for properties that are, that size, on a lot that size with that many bedrooms and the whole nine, what you can receive income-wise for rent,
Right.
which, and the reason I pointed out is because on my side I see that for the borrowers, the people that are buying, they can now, you as a seller can say, hey man, look, we get $1,500 a month here, that's going to help you qualify more if that's one of the things you need, or it's just going to help you pay off the mortgage. So it's a good selling point.
Right. That's a good point. Do you have anything else to add to the CMA part?
I don't deal a lot with the CMA, so no, that's about it for me.
How about you, Mr. Bolano? Anything?
No, I think you guys hit off everything. I wasn't paying attention to too much. I'm still trying to get everything locked and loaded over here. It's different having to stare at. So, just for those of you that are watching, I'm staring at 3 screens right now, 3 phone screens that are taking video of each one of these lovely people. And I'm sitting behind another screen where I can answer any of your comments and ask those questions to Jonathan and Lisette as it's happening. So yeah, but other than that, no, I have nothing else to add to the CMA stuff.
All right. So, very important to listen to your agent when it comes down to CMAs.
Yes.
You don't want to be too far apart in price.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also really important. We don't say these things, or we may not agree sometimes, but we're being honest with you. We don't want your house to sit on the market for over 30 days. That kind of raises a red flag after that period. So we want to get your house on the market and off as quickly as possible. So pricing competitively is key.
Why do we not want to leave it on for longer than 30 days? I think that's something interesting to them, so that way they realize we're not just trying to kick them out the door, and
Right.
there's an actual market reason behind it.
Well, especially in today's market, that houses are flying off the market within hours, in a day or two. It leaves this impression that there's something wrong with the property, whether it's the price, whether it's the condition. No one really knows until you actually go in and go through your inspections, but you kind of want to go with the flow with how the market's going. If you see that houses are flying off in a day or two, in a week or so, you don't want to sit on the market for a month or 2, or even more than that.
Because it gives it a bad feeling in people's stomachs.
Yeah, and over time, you just end up getting less attention too. So within the first, I would say 2 weeks, your house is like the new kid on the block. Like, oh, who's that? It has, the MLS kind of throws it up there like as a brand new listing. But after some time, it'll add up, and
Yeah.
eventually it'll start dying off too.
Yeah.
So we want
to utilize the ability to put it into a bidding war, because in that is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. At when the bidding wars are happening, and as Lisette said, as it's been sitting on the market for a while, those bidding wars start to cease, they start to disappear, and then you don't really see them at all. And then at that point, now you're talking about investors that are going to come in and try to buy your house for half the price, because they're going to think that there's something seriously that wrong. So the focus for everybody that's watching, like Lisette was saying, is to get your house off the market as soon as possible, so that you can prevent being put in a predicament where your home looks like a problem or a worrisome home. So
Right.
I think we knocked that one out the park. We don't have any questions as of yet.
nothing yet.
No, yeah. So
All right.
let's just move on to the second one.
All right, so your property is listed, you two agreed on a price, papers are signed, y'all ready to go. So what do we need to know? What's the next steps? Showings and open houses is pretty much one of the most important parts of the transaction. That's when your home goes live, that's when people walk through, that's when us agents present it out to our database of people and everyone that we know, and then it just grows from there. So you want to be as open as possible when showing your home. If it gets a little difficult to get in, then you minimize your chances on getting an offer and passing up a deal. And you want to make sure that, how do I say this? I don't know how to say it. Just like be available, you know.
So
sorry,
kind of
my mind
make it
is
an easy
going
process.
blank.
Like don't.
Yeah,
don't,
make it easy. You want to make sure that these are buyers that you're going to be working with. You're gonna be tied to them through the paperwork and things like that. It's just easier all around for everyone. There's a lot of deadlines that we have to meet, like the 10-day inspection period and such. Sometimes they do have to be extended because there's issues getting in or whatever the issue is. And then open houses really showcases your house too. So that gets put on the MLS. With me and Jonathan, what we do is we really push it out on our social media. And
we also do like a special thing for our open houses and things in that sort. So,
yeah, so we go above and beyond to make sure that everyone knows that there's an open house.
give it the most exposure.
Right,
We got
exactly.
Angela watching and Raquel. Say
Hello.
Hello.
And I lost my train of thought. So open houses is what I was talking about, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's when, you have your house open, your agent will be there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes even more, and they walk people through. Sometimes, especially in today's market, you'll get tons of traffic. We did one the other day, we had 11 families walk through.
Right.
We barely had a chance to kind of
Stop, and there was two of us.
Yeah, and there was 2 of us running this open house, so you can see that things are really hot and active right now in the market.
Nice.
So
I have a question now in regards to like the showings and the open houses. On the showings, again, I say a lot of people. I say multi-units because I know a lot of people are looking for those, and a lot of people
That's
are getting
true.
good money with these multi-units. How important is it to ahead of time talk to your tenants and say, hey, we're gonna need to get into the apartment. We're showing the house, which that itself can sometimes keep your house either on the market longer,
right.
or once it's already in the process of the loan, it could keep it from closing on time. I mean, depending on, how important is it to be on the same page with your tenants and tell them, hey, heads up, in a week we're going to start showing this house, in 2 weeks we're going to start showing this house, and kind of having them prepared.
That's a really good point. It's really important to let your tenants know just how communication is important between the agent and the seller. It's very important for the seller to have communication with their tenants. So we usually recommend 48 hours in advance before every showing or any request. And also to throw out there too, if somebody's buying for investment purposes, if the tenant is cooperative, they tend to leave, like they won't kick out the tenants because they've had such a good experience being able to get in and not having to fight with the tenants, basically. So that can actually go a long way for you as a tenant. You can actually stay put instead of having to get out. So
One other thing to add also for those that might have a multifamily that they are looking to sell, one of the other tactics that a lot of agents use is they'll work with the tenant to find a specific time and day of the week that works well for the tenants. For example, a lot of people go to church on Sundays between X number of hour, and so the home is open for about an hour or two there. And so they'll schedule the open houses for those time frames, so that way it works out for everybody. So, and they'll do that every single week, or they'll do showings at that exact, like at Thursdays when people go to church between 5 and 6:30 p.m. or 5 and 7 p.m. And that's the only time that they will do showings. So you get that luxury too, and that's just another tip of what you can do if you're selling a multifamily. And and then for to answer your question a little bit more, you asked how far in advance should you tell your tenants?
Correct.
ASAP.
Yeah.
The earlier the better, and the better the communication, like what Lisa had said, is key. So, and then for the renters out there that are listening, that are looking to learn, if you are in this predicament where your landlord is looking to sell the property, one of the tactics that you can use to see if you can get yourself to stay in the house is be as forthcoming with information and as pleasant and available as possible to the seller and the buyer.
Right.
So that way, when it does come time to make that transition, the new landlord might be more reluctant to say, hey, that person's been pretty good, I want to keep them.
Right.
Correct, and it might even be like, let's say, you know, they were thinking of charging $1,000 for rent, and you're paying $900, and you're like, oh, you know, they might be like, all right, well, you know, this person's courteous, has helped me in this process.
Respectful.
Why not go ahead and leave them here at what they're paying and see how we can go moving forward.
Exactly. That's a good point. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Kim. No, this is the great stuff. Everybody say hi to Kim. Let's see if we can get Kim in a video. Can we get Kim in a video? No? Team mom over here? All right. Kim is our team lead over here at Keller Williams and one of our largest supporters.
She's fabulous.
Yes, and so she snuck in right now. And
I made noise, I'm sorry.
don't even be sorry, it's fine.
I'm gonna creak again.
This is the great part about all this. You get that fun with it, right?
Live videos.
Live videos.
That's what happens.
All right, so
All right. Anything else that I missed with open houses in particular that you want to?
nope, you guys are hitting everything perfectly. I think you're giving a lot of really useful information that I don't think we've done in a lot of our other videos that weren't live. So this is great.
All right, so we have one more. No one has any questions out there? You guys are quiet?
Quiet.
Oh, wow. All right. So the last point. You got your showings and your open houses and you got some offers finally. Hopefully you're in the middle of a bidding war. That's a good problem to have. But what kinds of offers are out there?
So,
Do you want to talk a little about that?
yeah, that'd be a little bit more of what I would see, of course, is what kind of loans do people qualify for if they're not buying cash, obviously, or anything like that? What kind of loans will they be presenting to you as you're the seller?
And what does that mean to them?
Yeah, what it means to them, correct. The one thing I believe as a seller you'd probably be the happiest seeing and more confident with is a conventional loan. Conventional loans are a little bit more. You have to have a higher credit score, have to have some money, so you have to be a little bit more solid of a buyer. So it's a little bit. It's more of a safety net if you're the seller. This doesn't by any means mean it's a conventional loan, so that means guaranteed it's closing easy and whatever. But you're a little bit. It's somebody that's a little bit more prepared financially for that purchase. Now, FHA loans, for example, there's a little bit less down that you need to put down. Sometimes some of those programs are 100% financing, some kind of assistance for down payments and stuff like that, which in all reality doesn't mean anything negative either, because that just means, all right, now this person doesn't have to put that money down, but they're still able to get this loan. But it is a little bit less qualified of a buyer as a conventional loan. But I do want to say, as a seller, don't be scared of the FHA loans, because some of these FHA loans, even though somebody has, they might be doing an FHA loan because they have a 620 instead of a 640, but they have 20,000 in the bank, they have 30,000 in the bank, they have a job they've been at for 10 years, they're good to go on every other aspect, except their score is just not quite there. And I mean, these loans themselves, you can still close them within that 30-day period. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have to be longer or have to be a more complicated loan. Down payment amount is going to be different. Interest rates are going to be different in between those. But as a seller, I think you have to look at the buyer as a whole from what you can see. Mm-hmm. That pre-approval you have. Your interaction with the agent and with the buyer, because you interact with them here and there and kind of play off of that a little bit. In some cases, I as a loan officer have had the seller's agent actually reach out to me and ask, what can you tell me about these buyers? I cannot tell them anything about their score or anything like that, any personal information, but I can give them a gauge of there's pretty solid buyers. I mean, you should be good to go. Make them feel a little more comfortable about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's you have options out there, and you have right now, especially you're in a seller's market, you have the opportunity to kind of pick and choose who you want to sell to. What I again want to reiterate is, you know, as conventional loans are preferred by most that are selling, for somebody that is not paying cash or anything, don't dismiss the FHA, because you might have a perfectly qualified buyer that's just going FHA to take advantage of a program. They might be able to get a conventional loan, and they're taking advantage of the $7,500 program with Rhode Island Housing, or 100% financing, because they just want to take advantage of the program. So, doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative, let's say.
Right, and also gauge it with what your needs are. Are you someone that needs to sell right away? Because if that's the case, then you might want to go with someone who has a conventional rather than an FHA, as even though they can the FHA can close fairly quickly, sometimes things do happen that can extend that
yeah,
time.
and the appraisals on conventional are way more lenient than the FHA appraisals.
Right, exactly.
So that would, to your point, that would be something that could help you avoid delays, if that's the case.
Right, so just analyze your situation, which one would fit you better. If either one of them is best and you just want the highest and best offer, then go with either one. If you're trying to get in and out real quickly, a conventional probably would be the best option in that case. So, and then your agent too will help you kind of decide what the best offer would be, especially if you have kept them in the loop with what your situation is. So they're really, they know the process really well, and they'll be able to guide you through that too. So, yeah, still no questions out there?
No, everybody's pretty quiet, but you can say hi to Amanda Butler and Roger Duke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's going on, Roger? Hey, Amanda.
Good evening.
And then there was Alita that came in through, I think it was the Bolano homepage. And then I think that's all we have for new watchers right now. So just shoot over to the next topic.
That was the last
That was our
topic.
third topic.
Sorry, I've been paying attention to everything else.
So, just want to throw out there again, since we kind of did breeze through this one a little bit, just want to throw out there, remember guys, questions on anything that we've spoken about in the past, anything that came up right now, last week, anything at all that you can think of that you think Lisette or I can help you figure out, help get you situated, help you answer, please let us know. That we, you know, with your questions, we'll know what we need to expand on, how short or long to make these videos, what else we need to research for you if not enough already.
Yeah, send us some feedback. It would be very much appreciated.
Yeah, you can say hi to Ivo over on
Hi.
my personal page.
What's going on, Ivo?
We got Johnny Cortez jump in, Reina.
Throw some questions, you guys. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, if any of you guys have questions regarding anything in regards to real estate, you guys are thinking about becoming buyers or sellers, you just want to say that I will give us a thumbs up. Thank you for letting us know that you're there. Thank you for watching, buddy. Appreciate you. But yeah, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, you guys are even just thinking about getting into buying a home, whether it's today or a year from now or 2 years from now, and you just want to start getting ready for it, this is the perfect place to be, and this is the perfect place to start asking your questions. You don't actually have to sit down with a loan officer. You don't have to sit down with a real estate agent. You have that luxury right here, right in front of you, where you can just easily type up any kind of information or any kind of questions that you guys have. Or even if you just want to say, hey, throw a hand up and say, I'm looking to buy, or I'm looking to sell, or I want to get into multifamilies. I mean, one of the stories that I think got us really interested also in real estate is my first house. I ended up gaining quite a bit amount of equity, and I'm not going to get into the numbers so much, but I'll say that I paid off my college loans with that just by buying a home right out of college. That was a short sale. And so for those of you that are facing debt and massive amounts of debt because of college loans, you have that luxury of maybe buying a single family or getting a multifamily, and we could do videos on that and how that could benefit you as well, and how you could get yourself out of large amounts of debt get yourself out of just being in a hole right out of college, and get yourself propelled up to the next step in life. And there's, what's it called when we go like a 3-2-1 deal, when people start with 3-family, go down to a 2-family? What's it called? The ladder? Yeah, so we can get into videos regarding that and tell you guys what the trick is behind the ladder. I don't know. But whatever you guys got, I think we're going to have to wrap this one up. I don't think we got any questions for today. Everyone's pretty quiet.
Oh, just want to throw one more thing out there as well.
Yep.
Just also for people watching, I don't know if anybody that I spoke to about this is still watching now, but I know a couple of people were. But I do know some people are looking to buy next year or within 2 years. If you're looking to buy next year, right now is the time to get your credit pulled, see where you're at, see what you need. So when the time comes, you're not like, all right, I want to start buying in August of 2019, and then June you're getting your credit pulled, and you're seeing how much you need in your bank account, and you're seeing all these things you need to do, and now we have 60 days to get this done, or else you're gonna have to end up delaying when you're actually purchasing. I think it's a really good idea, even if it's like a year from now. Start looking now, start getting your credit pulled, start seeing what your options are, start seeing what you qualify for now, having an idea where you're going to be at that point, and then really be able to make your push when it's time.
Yeah, so be proactive. That's actually a client of ours did that. He wants to buy for the end of the year, and actually just a few months ago he went and got his credit pulled and all that stuff. So he knows where he stands currently and what he needs to do, if anything, to prepare for that big purchase later on in November, December.
We got a couple just like that. We got another one, she did the same exact thing. She got her credit pulled, and she decided that she's going to wait till the end of the year to do anything. So there's options out there, and there's benefits to doing all that. So that way you at least you know where you are today, and if you keep doing better than where you are today into next year, the year following that, then it's obviously your credit score and everything else is going to be in a beautiful place to start purchasing a home, start selling. I mean, well, yeah, but that's the purchase side.
Yeah, avoid the surprises.
Yeah.
When the further away from, I shouldn't say that. I should say the earlier you start things and you catch what you need to catch. And there's a lot of things that you may not know as well. Maybe you forgot about like a credit card or something that you had to pay, and it's like, oh wait, this just showed up on my credit score, on my credit report. What do I do now? So things happen all the time. It's good to just get it out of the way as soon as possible and just start chipping away at it little by little, rather than trying to, take care of it all at once, where it can get overwhelming, and then it could definitely be discouraging as well. So
yeah,
proactive.
Agreed.
That's what I would say.
Well, I think that sums up just about everything.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, thank you for watching, everybody.
We appreciate it.
And Bolano just did something to my camera, to my phone. What'd you do?
No, I just pressed something that's. I just gotta go back. There we go. Boom, wave.
Good.
We got Jennifer Vasquez, whoever that is.
That's my floof.
All right, and Anita.
So now everybody knows that's her nickname, by the way, Floof.
Oh, cute.
So if you see her, hey Floof.
Oh, she waved.
All right. Any last minute thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? Let's not all talk at once.
All right.
No? All right. Well, we appreciate the time that you gave us
Share,
today.
share.
Share, tag. You already know about the raffle at the end of the series. You want $20, a free $20. You should share. Just saying. So, yeah, we will see you guys next time.
See you guys
next
week.
Thursday at 6 p.m. We appreciate it. And
if they actually have a different time, like let's say you're watching this after the fact and you want to be part of the live video and haven't been able to because it's happening at a time that just doesn't work well for you, make sure to send us a message. Let us know what times work best for you guys, because like we've said before, this is for you and not for us. We know what we're doing, and we know that you probably don't. So we want to get you guys nice and educated and get you guys spun up so that way the real estate process doesn't look so scary. Yeah. How do you like that one?
That wasn't really nice.
He meant well, guys. He meant well.
Well, we'll do a whole hugs afterwards. So.
All right, we will see
All right,
y'all
guys.
next time.
All
See you
right.
next week.
Boom. Finish.